Hello and welcome to CEB. Today we will design FSM for unary number divisible by 2. So what are the steps? The first step is finding the math solution. Now what is a mathematical solution is how we used to divide the decimal number by 2. For that we will take number 1 and check the divisibility. So we found that the number 1 is not completely divisible by 2 with the remainder 1. 2 is divisible by 2 with the remainder 0. Similarly, number 3, 5, 7, 9 are not completely divisible and having the remainder 1. Whereas 4, 6, 8 are having the remainder 0. So that is the case with the decimal number. Now we are going to find how we can convert the decimal number into unary number. So for that I have already created a video. So go and watch that video so you can easily understand how we are going to create what is the equivalence between the decimal number and the unary number. Now I have taken the unary number 1 that is also not divisible by 2 having the remainder 1. Here this is the number 2. Number 2 which is the unary number having two ones, they are completely divisible by 2 with the remainder 0. Number 3 is not divisible by 2 having the remainder 1. Number 4, that is the 4 occurrences of ones are divisible by 2 with the remainder 0. Similarly, this is the unary number 5, unary number 7, unary number 1. They are not completely divisible. Unary number 9, they are not completely divisible by 2 having the remainder 1. Whereas the number 6 and the number 8, they are completely divisible by 2 with the remainder 0. Now we will find out the TCS solution for the same question. So for that, what we consider, so those number which are having the remainder 1, they will be considered as the remainder 1 situation. So here, this is the remainder 1 situation. We are giving some special name to that as S1. So these are the number belonging to the category of S1, that is the remainder 1. All the numbers, that is 2, 4, 6, 8, which are completely divisible by 2, having the remainder 0. So numbers having the remainder 0, their situation is indicated by the name S0. Now what is the S0? S0 contains the answer of your question, where to find the numbers which are divisible by 2. So this is the final answer. This contains the 100% solution of your question. So this is, we can say, the final state. Now we will go to the TCS solution. For finding the TCS solution, we will consider tape. How we will consider tape? Based on the number of units we have taken in your number system. Here we have considered the unary number system. In unary number system, we are taking only single symbol. So that single symbol here is only number 1. So if we are having only single number, only one tape will be considered here. So this is a tape which is an infinite tape which is open from the right hand side, and it is going to contains n number of, we can see, infinite number of cells. This infinite number of the cell is nothing but where we are going to consider our input, and here we are having the header or the indicator which is going to tell us which position, at which cell we are going to read the number. So here what we are going to write, here we are going to write the current state, in which state we are, and here we are going to write the resultant state. Okay, so here we are going to consider the resultant state, and here we are going to write the current state. Now quickly we will take our one tape and we will take the input. What kind of input we are taking? We are having the unary number system, so only one input will be there. Now this is the ready position in which we are ready to take our input. So this state which is ready to take the input, we will mark that state as, for example, ST state. The ST state is a ready state in which we are not having any input, we are not having any resultant state, and we are not having any output. Where we are going to write output, we are going to write here on the top of the tape. We, at the end of the below the tape, we are going to write the resultant state. So here, as this is a unary number system, we will take the first unit, that is 1. So this number 1 is what is number 1 in unary number system is the decimal number 1. So decimal number 1, when it is divided by 1, what was the by 2, what was the output? The output was the remainder 1. Here we can check it. So this is a number 1, decimal number 1, and the remainder was 1. This is the unary number 1. which was divided by 2, the number, the remainder was 1. So where we are going to write remainder here. So here on the top, we are going to write the output. So here this is the output. Now, what was the resultant state that we had considered? It is resulting with the remainder 1. So that state we had marked with the name as S1. So what is the resultant state here? The resultant state is S1 state. Okay. Now this is the new state. Now what we are going to do? Again, we are going to write the tape, and here this resultant state now will be considered as the current state. So this is your current state S1, and the what was the remainder of S1? Which string is represented by S1? S1 is representing the string 1 with the output 1. So this is your S1 state. S1 state indicates which string is only 1. So this is your string represented by S1. So here we are writing the string which is represented by S1. Now, as this is a tape, what we are going to do? We are going to generate our number system. So after 1, this is the first one, and here we are having the cell. So what kind of input we can write? We can write only one input, so we'll consider next input. So 1 with the next input 1 in the unary number system is nothing but the decimal number 2. So this is the number 2. So what was the, so here we have consider number 1 S1 with the next input. So this is a pointer which is pointing at the where we are going to read the next number. So here we are going to read the next number. Now this will become number 2. So when we are having number 2, what was the case in the number 2 in unary number system? When we are having 2, 1, 1, so at that time the remainder was 0. So 1, 1 means the remainder 0. Where we are going to write the output here, we are going to write on the top, and where we are going to write the resultant state, we have to write the resultant state here. Now remainder 0 is indicated by the state as 0. So we will write as 0 here. So S0 represent what? S0 represent number 1, 1 with the output 0. Now this is the new state. So we are going to consider again the tail because this is the newly created state. This string is represented by S0. S0 represent the string 1, 1. So here we are going to write the current state, that is S0, 1, 1, and with the next bit we are reading. So the next bit indicated by this pointer, and the next bit will be again, as this is a unary number system, only 1 will be considered. Now the new number that is generated is number 3. So what was the case in the number 3? So number 3, when we had divided the number 3 with the 2, the remainder was 1, and the remainder 1 we have to write on the top of the tape. So this is remainder 1. Remainder 1 state is indicated by the name S1. So this is the S1 condition. Now S1 is already, S1 we had considered, this S1 state we had already considered here. So no need of considering this S1 again. Now one more thing that we had to discuss, that the output which is represented by your state, which is your S0, is the remainder 0, which contains the solution of your question. So this S0 will be considered as the final state, and the final state is marked by the asterisk. Now this is the, we can say, the logical step. Now we are going to write the state transition table and state transition diagram. So we are going to write state transition table. Now how we are going to write the state table? We are having two type of table. We are having machine table MAF, in which the input with the current state is generating the output, that is O, and we are having state function in which the input with the state goes to the next state. So these two tables we have to draw here. So first we will write machine function. So what is there in machine function? Input with the state generates the output, and what is there in the state function? Input with the state goes to the next state. So what we are going to do? We are going to write the input and the state. So here we are writing input here. Here we are having I. So what is input? We are having only input 1. Here also we are writing I. What is there? That is input 1. Now here on this column side, we are going to write state. What kind of state we are having? The initial state is ST. So initial state is ST. Now ST with the input 1. So here we are having this one, ST with the input 1. Where it is going? It is going to S1. So here we are going to write S1. And what was the output of the S1? S1 is generating the output 1. So here we are going to write the output of this state, that is 1. Okay. Now this is the current state. Now we will consider S1. Now S1, this S1 with the next input 1. S1 with the next input 1, where it is going? It is going to S0. So it is going to S0. What is the output of S0? It is indicated here on the top. So the next one will be again here S1. S1 with the next one is going to S0. S1 with the next one going to S0, whose output is 0. Now this is now the next state that we have to consider S0. S0 with the next one, X0 with the next one. Where it is going? It is going to S1 with the output 1. So we will write here, it is going to S1. So again, we are considering the same state S0 here. S0 on the next state, on the next bit 1, where it is going to S1 with the remainder as 1. Again, we are going to mark S0 as the final state. Now the time to draw the state transition diagram. So for drawing the state transition diagram, we will take the help of all the tables. So first of all, we will consider the ST. What is ST? ST is the initial state. As this is the initial state, we will put an arrow in front of it. Now ST with the input 1, where it is going? It is going to S1. So all the state we are going to represent by the circle. So this is the S1 state. So ST on 1, it is going to S1. So how we are going to connect them? From ST, we are going to draw an outward arrow towards S1. And what was the input? ST on input 1. Okay. Now the time to connect the output. ST with 1 is producing output 1. So that we are going to write by putting slash here. Okay. Now S1. S1 with 1 goes to S0. So this is S0, which is the final state. Final state is represented by double circle. So S1 with 1 goes to S0. So that will be again one arrow from S1 to S0 with the input 1. And what is the output of S0? Output of S0 is 0. So we'll put slash and write output. So here we are going to write input slash output. Input slash output. Now from S0. From S0 on 1, where it is going to S1. So that will be an arrow from S0 to S1 with the input 1. And what is the output of S1? Output of S1 is 1. So we will write slash and the output. So this is how we have designed finite state machine for the unary number system divisible by 2. Hope you people have understood the concept and you have liked the video. Please share the video and subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching.